Hello everyone, I'm Mike Gibson. This is the program Capital Ideas Life. As you know, the capital of Russia is also a city of entrepreneurship. Almost 800,000 businessmen work in Moscow, and throughout Russia, their number reaches almost 8 million. In this program, we will tell you about one of the largest and significant associations of entrepreneurs, the Russian Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Today on the program, how Russia's Chamber of Commerce and Industry supports entrepreneurs. Expocentre, the main exhibition venue of the Russian capital. A city within a city, the past, present, and future of the World Trade Center.
For more than 400 years, industrialists and entrepreneurs all over the world have been uniting in public organizations to protect their interests and establish international trade relations. It is believed that the first such union, the Chamber of Commerce, appeared in French Marseille at the end of the 16th century. It was decreed by Empress Catherine I that Russian merchants were to meet once a year and hold council. Before this, under Peter I, the first associations of entrepreneurs, guilds, appeared in Russia, but the idea of creating a national chamber of commerce and industry did not arise until the early 20th century. We are located on Birjevaya Square in the very center of Moscow, very close to the Kremlin. It is here that business life in the capital of Russia has been focused for several centuries. There was once a stock exchange in the building behind me, and now the Russian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is located here. The foundation of the building, a trading hall, was constructed in the 1830s according to a design by the architect Berkovsky. Later the building was reconstructed, and in the 1870s it was completely rebuilt. The next major reconstruction took place in the 1920s. The building, situated on Ilinka Street, had a third floor constructed. Today, the historical building of the Stock Exchange, which houses the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation, is a monument of architecture and is protected by the state.
The building, of course, is ancient. It's unique. In terms of business, it has been reclaimed, as the entrepreneurs say. Naturally, we're taking care of it now. When we moved in, there were no lights, and we found out that there were a couple of spans of cast iron grids missing, and they weigh a ton. It's not clear where they went, but we had to cast the same ones and put them back in their place. So we had to reconstruct a lot of things, but today the building has got that historical look.
The Stock Exchange Hall, which has retained its original appearance, is now the main venue of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry for official meetings, forums, and congresses of the organization's business councils and committees. Quiet. Right now in the Congress Center there's an event. Sometimes there are several of them a day. It was here 5 years ago at the Congress of the Business Council for Cooperation with India that the idea of creating a TV channel and website, Big Asia, was born. A month later, on June 1st, 2017, its presentation took place at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. A year later, Big Asia and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation signed a cooperative agreement. The international media conglomerate became the official information partner of this organization.
We have to learn to understand each other better. The Russian entrepreneur, for example, does not fully understand the Indian entrepreneur because he does not know the specifics of working in India. He does not know how states are organized there, or the nuances of the trade system. And so, Big Asia is a channel that helps people adjust their communication, get to know the specifics, and get their interests out there.
Today, the membership base of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation includes almost 53,000 companies and organizations. In addition to the federal chamber, there are regional and municipal chambers and their representative offices all over the country. The main differences between the Chamber of Commerce and Industry and other Russian business associations is that the chamber's activity is regulated by federal legislation. Could you tell me, what are the main goals and objectives of the chamber?
Like all chambers of commerce around the world, to protect and represent the interests of entrepreneurs. So, first of all, a legal framework. We work with the government, parliament, and the president, and reflect the interests of business. The second thing is to create a structure to serve this business. Subsidiaries are aimed at providing various services in education, exhibitions, international relations, and so on. The third thing is our international network and the possibility to realize the interests of business outside the economy.
The Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation has more than 30 foreign representative offices. Their main task is to search for new partners and markets and to organize business missions. Now the Chamber of Commerce and Industry is actively developing its Eastern Directive in the countries of Asia, Oceania, and the Middle East. Last December, it opened a new representative office in Jakarta.
We have what we call business councils. Take, for example, China. The 49 largest exporters, importers, and participants of foreign economic activity from the People's Republic of China, united into a group, are called a business council, registered as an association, and now work as a complete team in the territory of the People's Republic of China. This allows them, when they are together, to more successfully solve the tasks they have set for themselves, to overcome barriers, customs clearance of cargo, logistics, and integrate and coordinate their plans with each other, so that there is no unhealthy competition. This is why we expend a lot of effort developing our relations with Asian countries.
Active strengthening of economic relations with India takes place within the framework of the Business Council for Cooperation with India. According to the agreement signed by the two countries, the trade turnover between India and Russia should reach $30 billion by 2025. The United Arab Emirates is also emerging as a potential market for development. In 2021, trade turnover between the Russian capital and the UAE alone increased by 116% and amounted to more than $1 billion. What plans do you have for the further development of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry?
We are moving along the interests of business and on the order of Russian business. I think the general trend for the next 5 years in Russia is two strategic directions. One is Southeast Asia, centered in China, and the other is South Asia, I think, with the center in Turkey.
The structure of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry has a special council for foreign economic activity. It has 4 key tasks: analysis and adjustment of the regulatory framework, export support, work on specific country markets, and participation in the preparation of program documents such as the National Export Support Project or the Strategy of Foreign Economic Activity. How do chambers of commerce specifically help enterprises enter foreign markets?
First, we have our own information resource, and it is rich and up to date. We have our own developed expert methods. How to help an exporter determine the most promising markets, assess these markets, and evaluate a product and organizational readiness to export. We also have the tools for direct promotion through the Expocentre within the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and through foreign business missions, with the participation of our representatives abroad. We can address our business councils with specific projects that are proposed, and we try to keep a close eye on this.
However, the building on the Exchange Square hosts not only business events and develops important legislative initiatives, it also has its own small museum, which keeps memorable gifts and awards received by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation. Among the exhibits in the exhibition, there's one particularly interesting thing: a Soviet Order of the Friendship of People. This is a copy. The original is in the office of the President of the CCI. The decree that awards the Chamber of Commerce and Industry was personally signed by the head of the Soviet Union, Leonid Brezhnev. Here you can get a good look at his signature. The Order of Friendship of Peoples was awarded to the Chamber of Commerce and Industry for its fruitful work on the development of trade, economic, scientific and technical relations with foreign countries.
Let's take a look. This is the insignia on our banner.
I see, yes.
This is our banner. We have our own banner in the chamber, and next to it is the banner of the Russian Federation, of course.
We're in the Krasnoprestensky district in the Russian capital. Now Moscow business life is concentrated here. The city is located here, as well as the Expocentre. This is perhaps one of the main exhibition centers of Moscow. Let's see how it works. Expocentre is a Russian exhibition and congress company that has been operating for more than 60 years. Back in the days of the USSR in 1975, Expocentre was the first Russian exhibition company to become a member of the Global Association of the Exhibition Industry.
Expocentre also originated here, from the Russian Chamber of Commerce. In its time, the Department of Exhibitions was founded here, and then the Soviet Chamber of Commerce organized the Department of Foreign and International Exhibitions. This department later evolved into Expocentre. First, it was in Sokolniki. Then, one after another, these halls were built. I think in terms of content, it's the leading exhibition area of the Russian Federation.
The total area of Expocentre's exhibition grounds is more than 165,000 square meters. Several large-scale international events and activities can be held here simultaneously. The most numerous and popular exhibitions, which have been held here for decades, cover almost all spheres of business activities, from food production to telecommunications. Just imagine, every year more than 100 exhibitions and thousands of congresses are held here, which are visited by over 1 million people. From the very beginning, the venue has been focused on foreign cooperation. Its location in the business center of Moscow, its convenient infrastructure and bilingual navigation all make the exhibition space attractive for foreign guests. In 2021, delegations from over 130 countries visited Expocentre not only to take part in exhibitions, but also in conferences, forums, and scientific symposiums.
While preserving existing B2B and B2C formats, which historically have formed and fixed themselves in the minds of exhibitors and professionals alike, we created and named a new format, B2I, for ourselves. Business investments and business innovations. This is because now we're not only offering our exhibitors the possibility of holding their enterprises presentation sessions and business development presentation sessions, but we're also trying to specifically invite to such presentations groups of investors, groups of potential partners, which then will jointly develop their businesses.
Today is the opening of the Russian Week of High Technologies, which is taking place here. This exposition unites several exhibitions, forums and conferences devoted to information technologies and telecommunications, all taking place at the same time. As part of the Russian Week of High Technologies, Expocentre hosts several industry exhibitions, including Svyaz and Navitech. In total, more than 160 companies took part in the events this year. As part of the business program of the week, more than 30 sessions were held at Expocentre. Russian and foreign participants discussed the prospects of development of the industry, measures of state support for businesses, and opportunities for entering foreign markets.
The task of the week was to invite specialists who developed these products so that on the same platform, both producers and consumers could talk, up to and including the signing of contracts, so that they're useful to each other. Now it's very important to develop our own products in the area of IT technologies. For example, in the area of software and hardware systems, and so on. Communications, mobile communications, satellite communications. This is very important.
The exhibitor stands are the most interesting part of the exhibition space for the average visitor. Here, one can get an in-depth look at the main products and developments of the exhibitors. Companies often come to such shows not alone, but together with their colleagues or to represent their region. So we've decided to go and visit the stand of the Ulyanovsky region. At the Russian Week of High Technologies, 10 high-tech companies came from this region. In total, in the Ulyanovsk region, more than 10,000 people are engaged in the IT sphere, 1,500 companies whose solutions are known both in Russia and abroad. Do you have international experience and do you export your IT technologies?
Of course we do. At the end of 2021, the total volume of exports exceeded $30 million. And we see that the volume of exports has been growing steadily every year for the past 3 years. This shows that the solutions offered by the companies from the Ulyanovsk region are really in demand. The companies are known both in Europe and in Asia. They also work with American partners. And this, the evidence of the high level of competence and the solutions that our colleagues offer.
Among the companies represented at the booth of the Ulyanovsk region, there is a firm that produces microelectronics, a company that implements smart city development systems, as well as a developer of VR solutions for training. Why is VR for learning better than just paper and pen?
At the current moment, VR training will plunge you into an immersive reality. Your brain will perceive this immersive reality as true and will believe what is happening. In the virtual reality simulator, we can simulate any situation and immerse you in it without endangering your life or health. You can put your own virtual reality goggles on right now and try the easy task of working at high altitude.
Where's the ladder?
Okay, a little bit straight ahead. There. Yes. Put your hand forward. Now push it.
Ah, wow.
Grab it again.
Oh, I fell. Not far from Moscow city, there's a group of buildings that are also directly connected with the business life of Moscow. This is the World Trade Center, or as it was called earlier, Sovin Center, or Hammer Center. This complex was opened back in the USSR in 1980. It has a very interesting history of how it first appeared. The idea to build a center for international trade and scientific and technical relations with foreign countries in the Soviet state emerged in the early 70s. The WTC was to become the main platform for strengthening foreign economic relations of the USSR with foreign countries. The initiators of the construction were the American businessman Armand Hammer, who had long-standing business relations with the Soviet Union and the Chamber of Commerce. The buildings were erected over a course of 5 years. In 1980, on the eve of the Moscow Summer Olympics, the World Trade Center opened its doors.
It was the first World Trade Center in the Union. And then, of course, it was a unique building. It attracted everyone's attention. And there was a huge line of people eager to work here at all levels. It has certainly retained its charm. Naturally, we're thinking about the development of this site. We have not only an idea, but we have already agreed with the city authorities on the possibility of the next phase of construction.
What kind of infrastructure does the WTC in Moscow consist of?
You know, we have a rich infrastructure. If we speak generally, we can identify 4 types of business, and accordingly, the infrastructure is built out of that. So, first of all, it's an office and apartment complex. Why do I say that? It's real estate management. Because from the very beginning, from the very history, when the idea of the World Trade Center was just emerging, one of the tasks was to create conditions for doing business. And it remains so to this day. So the office and apartment complex, we essentially have 3 large office buildings, and it takes up 50% of our entire infrastructure.
More than 900 companies lease office space in the World Trade Center. Among these are foreign companies which have been working on the Russian market since the beginning of the 90s.
Our company name is POSCO International. We are the largest Korean trading company. Our company is established in 1989 here. We have quite a long history in WTC. We are exporting Korean products to Russian market. We also import Russian products to Korean market. So these days we are also developing some energy businesses, especially eco-friendly energy like hydrogen. And the reason why we choose this location is it has very convenient transport system, and also it's close to Moscow River. It has good sizing. That's the reason. We have a long history and good memories in WTC.
According to the management of this Korean company, the Russian market is strategically important. POSCO plans to continue investing in the development of its business in Russia. Currently, 5 Korean and 8 Russian employees work in the company's office at the World Trade Center. The hotel wing of the World Trade Center has 720 rooms. One of the 2 hotel buildings has club status. Close proximity to the exhibition grounds of Expocentre and Moscow City makes it the most convenient place to accommodate foreign delegations. From the top floors of the center, you can enjoy a breathtaking view of the architectural gems of Moscow, the famous Stalin skyscrapers, the Russian government house, and the embankment of the Moscow River.
Take a look. Only we have these kinds of views.
Fantastica.
Wow.
The World Trade Center also has its own space for business events with a capacity of up to 1,500 people. The convention center of the ITC annually hosts many landmark events. Among them are the direct line of the President of Russia, the International Forum, Russia Calling, as well as the exhibition of the Russian Export Center Made in Russia for the presentation of domestic products to foreign partners.
Next, we have the restaurant business, which allows us to provide the entire infrastructure, those who come to the World Trade Center, with food for both offices and guests. We also have other restaurants that rent, such as a Chinese restaurant, a Korean restaurant, and so it's a complex infrastructure.
Now the World Trade Center is preparing to begin construction of new buildings. 2 office buildings will appear on Krasnoprestenskaya embankment, one of which will be a 200-meter-high skyscraper. Upon completion, the architectural complex of the ITC will be completed and will become a kind of gateway to Moscow City, the entry point to the business district of the Russian capital. Behind me is a sculpture of the Roman god Mercury, the patron saint of trade. You may have already noticed that we already met him today in the building on Exchange Square and in the Expo Center. Even the coat of arms of the Russian Chamber of Commerce and Industry depicts the golden staff of this god. It's called a caduceus. For all chambers of commerce and industry around the world, the rod of Mercury is a symbol of harmony and reconciliation of disputes between competitors in business and between business and government.
Mercury. Here he has 2 serpents around his rod, and this rod of Mercury reconciled them in a fight. This also speaks to our International Commercial Arbitration Tribunal. I haven't said it yet. We have a panel of mediators. Those are the ones who do mediation. We have established mediation centers in 64 regions of the Russian Federation. These are those who deal with conciliation procedures and various areas of disputes that arise between entrepreneurs. So this topic just echoes our Mercury and why he has such a rod.
Also, a small statuette of the deity with this symbol of trade is awarded annually to the best Russian entrepreneurs. Since 2002, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry has held a Golden Mercury competition for small and medium-sized businesses. It is awarded to the most successful companies with up to 100 employees and exporting companies which manufacture competitive products. This year, it will be the 20th anniversary of the competition. Today, we've seen how the Russian Chamber of Commerce and Industry lives and works. We learned how this organization helps entrepreneurs develop for domestic and foreign markets, as well as what kind of infrastructure it has for holding international business events. You have been watching the program Capital Ideas Life. I'm the host, Mike Gibson. See you in the next series. Bye.